You're listening to The People's Pitch, the official podcast of Minneapolis City Soccer Club, brought to you by FootballStadiumPrints.com. Let's start the show.
And as I talked about just a couple minutes ago, as Joe Watt stands over this one, he appears to be the one taking the penalty here. This is a huge confidence booster if you're Duluth.
Worst case scenario for City right here.
And it stopped! Yes! And it stopped!
Totally redeems himself.
Matt Elder redeeming himself. Oliver with the right foot. The shot of the goal!
Oliver!
Justin Oliver will break the scoreless tie. And it is 1-0 Minneapolis City. Is Hutton now on the offense with the left foot. And it is now 2-0 Minneapolis City.
Good finish.
Nick Hutton taking his quick victory lap.
Do not adjust your base, friends. It is just my seasonal allergies picking up at the perfect time to crush me this week. Sounding like grandma smoking Pall Malls at the local bowling alley. Welcome to the People's Pitch, the official podcast of your Minneapolis City Soccer Club. I am John, and of course, it would not be a show without my guy to the left, Nate Morales. Nate, everything safe by you since the happenings in Brooklyn Park last weekend?
Oh yeah, everything's great because my police precinct already got burned down, and my post office already got burned down.
And your grocery store and your liquor store.
No targets in my neighborhood. No, the only thing I'm worried about, John, are these Humvees, man. What the F?
Well, that'll shake your house when they go by.
No need to protect the Aveda Institute, guys. Let's just let's take it down a notch.
Oh, the Aveda Institute. Crush dreams.
So once again, John, big show tonight. We got to take a look what's coming up. The ball is going to be rolled out, friends. The email went out today. The announcement went out today. Friendlies are set, and we're going to talk about one high-profile one that is on the horizon coming up May 1st versus the Karen FA. Also, majority of the show, you're going to hear once again his voice all summer long on our live stream coming from all of our home games. The Mad Producer from K-Fan's 9 to Noon show, the Eric Nordquist, is back with us, folks. Very exciting to have him. Love it when he's here on the show.
Yeah, he lives here. I don't know if you do that.
Yeah, I've heard.
Just a quick editorial comment. It's actually Karen, not a whole bunch of. We're not playing a whole bunch of Karens that are going to ask to see the manager.
That's good. Thank God. Thanks for that.
Speaking of Karen FA, friends, we, as Nate noted, are rolling the ball out behind closed doors in the lead up to the season each year, as we do. But we always toss that little nugget of gold out there for the dry run to get you that taste of soccer before the season starts. And we are pleased to announce, as you noted, the communication went out today, that the 2021 version will be on display Saturday, May 1st at 3 p.m. versus the Karen FA in downtown Minneapolis at Parade Stadium. This will be a ticketed event, so you'll have to go buy them unless you're obviously a member, or if you're not, we'll buy membership and get in with your membership card. And then you can do so by heading over to mtlscitysc.com, click on shop, then click tickets. Boom, there you go. We'll see you on the 1st.
That's right. Really super exciting, John, to know that the first opportunity to see our team in action is just a scant 2 weeks away. And it's really, for me, even more exciting to hear that we're going to be looking up across from Karen FA. Like, I've seen this organization popping up here and there, whether it's full field, online, or futsal competitions that I've been to. And every team that they field is really dangerous, especially when it comes to futsal. So for those that aren't familiar with the Karen people or their football association, why don't you give the people a rundown?
Sure. So the Karen FA is a very unique team. It's not your typical U of M club team or a random UPSL team that we may run our guys out against before the season. The Karen Football Association, or KFA, is based in the United States. And this is an official governing body of the Karen women's and men's soccer teams. So, yes, this is a national side. And no, it's not like FC Minneapolis trying to play Uganda, that whole debacle that hit the internet. If you have some time for a real outrageous story, hit Google and search FC Minneapolis versus Uganda and enjoy the show. But so what we're talking about is to boil it down, the Karen people are basically a refugee group of people that originated in Burma thousands of years ago. And they migrated to the northern part of Burma, referred to as the Karen state. So in 1886, when the British colonized Burma, groups of the Mon, the San, Thai, Burmese, and Karen were kind of collected together to be put under the official flag of Burma. Burma eventually did achieve its independence from the British in 1948. However, the Karen people were not granted their rights to their own land in the Karen state anymore. So at that point, they tried to fight back for years. They had a guerrilla army that fought back, but to no success. And these folks were oppressed to migrate to other countries and seek asylum. So first being Thailand, they tried Thailand. The Thai government eventually cut their funding, and once again these people were on the move, or they were put into state-sanctioned and sponsored refugee camps where they weren't allowed to leave. So these people for thousands of years were very nomadic, and for the not too distant recent future or history, they're very much oppressed. So they're definitely a group of people that have now made their way to the United States and have found a home to a certain degree, a large contingency in Minnesota.
Yeah, and it is an awful situation that continues to be horrifying every day in Myanmar. So I would say, like, if you could liken that back home as to like what it could have been if we didn't open our countries to the Hmong. That's kind of what's going on right now. So it's great that so many Karen are able to find homes here, and hopefully more in the future.
Well, like I said, it's a large community.
Yeah.
It very much so resembles the Hmong community in Minnesota.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say from a straight size perspective, the Hmong community is larger, I believe. But the Karen people are very much so here in large numbers and thriving. And so it's great that they were able to collectively come together for soccer here in Minnesota.
For some people, it feels like Karen FA might have kind of popped out more recently, right? They've more recently organized, more recently on the scene, definitely showing up strong in tournaments recently. Who's in charge of that?
So the group is led by Kyle Johnson, and that name may ring a bell vaguely for City folks because his son Tyler Johnson was one of our first ever development players with us in 2016, and has also been a member of our segments organization. If you think that those of us that are on the top half of Minneapolis City from a club perspective put in a lot of time, Kyle puts us all to shame with the hours that he puts in, because in some cases it's the only lifeline. He's the only lifeline for some of the Karen people who come to Minnesota, and his efforts as the leader of the FA go far beyond soccer, even though that is the common thread. They've recently become an official club partner of Minneapolis City, and we'll be doing much more with them throughout from the community efforts perspective that our guy Brendan Doyle's been organizing and has been doing. But this is a really big first step for our partnership that we hope has more legs as we continue to move into the future.
Nice. So I'm really excited for this burgeoning relationship and to get to know Karen as a part of our community, whether it's soccer or otherwise. Really great to see them on the scene. Saturday, May 1st, 3 p.m. is where it's going to be when it's going to happen versus Karen FA, downtown Minneapolis, I guess, at Parade Stadium. It is a ticketed event, so remember you're going to have to buy tickets ahead of time or at the door. Head on over to mplscitysc.com, click on shop, then on tickets, and boom, there you go. And you can learn more about Karen FA at KarenFA.com, and you can always help support that team through that website as well.
Yep, absolutely.
We're lucky to be joined tonight by Eric Nordquist, producer of the 9 to Noon show on a radio station that you might know called KFAN. Nordo is also, I guess, the Twellman to your Stu Holden, John, right? He's the color commentator of our game day broadcasts. Nordo, it's really great to have you back on the show. Can you feel it, man? After too long, we are almost about to be back in the booth.
No, I'm excited. I love this, and it's almost like a passion project. And John, like, you know, you and I have become, you know, pretty good buddies, and we've talked about it a lot. And, you know, you as well, Nate, like getting to see you guys, you know, is such a fantastic part of my summer and spring and all of that. And that was kind of ripped from us a year ago. So I'm super pumped. And I can, you know, kind of feel it, you know, as we get closer to things. Mm-hmm. Now, the only thing I will say, as an aside, as you said, hey, it's Nordo from not. Nobody that's listening to your podcast listens to KFN. There's no chance. There's no chance.
You don't know that.
No, there's almost zero chance, because everybody that's listening to this podcast now will say, that guy from KFan, he never talks about soccer on the radio show. He's such an ass. That's what they're thinking right now. That's exactly what they're thinking right now. But I will say this. I love the sport, and I love you, even if you hate my radio station. So there it is.
I don't know, man. I bet you've got a lot of crossovers with Charge's old video game show.
Well, okay, so we got nerds in the mix. Are you trying to stereotype people right now? That's what you're trying to do. You're saying those that like soccer are more likely to be nerds, and therefore they will like video games, which therefore they will tolerate Charge.
I bet
the fact that he
that's right.
I bet the players have to listen.
He's a LARPer.
Are you kidding me?
If
you ever hear a story, like if you follow, there are various Twitter accounts and such, like Crime Watch Minneapolis, and this is what's happening. And things are weird right now, so this is not a diatribe on that. But it's like if you ever hear nude man in Plymouth with a sword, that's Charge.
Ball charge.
Yes.
Nordo, man, like you said, the excitement is here. It feels like, on a lot of levels, for anyone that's almost interested in anything, the whole city, the whole state, the country is kind of like a tight rubber band. Like we're just getting ready to get let out of the slingshot and go ham this summer. I mean, this feels like the real return to sports, even though a lot of people maybe have gone to NFL games or Wolves games kind of sporadically over the last year or so. Like we're back. We've got the Wild in action. We've got the Twins, the United, all these places are, it's like people are going to be able to start going to games. People are ready to party this summer. What kind of energy are you getting out there among fans of all sports? Like, is there just a wild energy waiting to be released, or are people maybe feeling cautious about going back into stadiums?
Yeah, I think it's similar to how you just view life in general right now, where you've been beaten down, and depending upon your viewpoint and how you've handled things throughout the pandemic over the last year and change, I mean, regardless of all of that, it's just different degrees of, I don't know if it's desperation per se, but it's a level of anticipation that you can't necessarily measure, where it's an unprecedented situation, season canceled with NPSL and so many things, MLS even, at the largest level of U.S. soccer from a league standpoint, they do the bubble and it's the MLS's back tournament and all of that. And you catch these little vibes of these breadcrumbs, if you will, of people that are excited just to see live sports again. And the idea of being in person, I can't speak to it. I can speak to it as a fan standpoint. I mean, the ability to sit there and have a beer at Target Field, the ability to be at XL Energy Center and see a game-winning goal from Kirill Kaprizov, the ability to be at Target Center and watch Anthony Edwards, dunk on somebody despite losing by 30 points, and then, just watching and working with KFAN and being at all the Vikings home games up in the radio booth, a blessing as it was, it's US Bank Stadium. You picture that the massive this structure, this monument that was built on the backs of taxpayers in some regards, but all the same, it was a mausoleum. It was awful. I mean, just and 66,000 people would be in there otherwise. So everyone's excited to be back to that. And, but I think one aspect of the last year more so is that I think people, they find their way to, they realize how much they love certain things. And for a lot of people, that's going to be Minneapolis City, that's going to be the Loons, that's going to be, sports and entertainment or whatever it is they find. But I think from a real life perspective, just the ability at some point, whether it's by way of vaccinations or time or stats or, whatever it is that lowers their guard, that they can just kind of take that mask down a little bit and just take a little breath of fresh air and just say, whew, we're back. So that we're all fiends right now. We are addicts and we are hungry for normalcy. And so, and sports and entertainment has always been in state. And as you slowly start to see more and more people, when you watch these TV broadcasts and such, more people in the stands, more people in the mix outside, there's more, conversation and connectivity and all those things. I think, we as humans can adapt really easily to things, and in some ways that can be a good or a bad thing. But I think a good part of this is that I think we can get back to normalcy really quickly once we all kind of inherently feel that green light, if that makes sense. So at some point, Eeyore Nelson, it's going to be crows, it's going to be banners, it's going to be loud,
that's right,
kick ass, it's going to be sweet. And
on some level, man, it's like it's going to be really hard to take it for granted anymore, isn't it? Like it's going to be so hard to take hearing that organ at Target Field for granted, or hearing the supporters section at a Loons
or
game,
hearing your playlist at Eeyore Nelson.
Exactly, just like view from the booth at Eeyore Nelson. Like hard to, at least for the foreseeable future, hard for fans or really anyone that loves being alive in the world to take things for granted that we've missed over last
man,
year.
It's going to be so many stupid selfies. It's going to be awful. It's going to be I'm kidding. It's going to be great, but it is going to be that. It's going to be look at me. I'm at a live sporting event. It's going to be.
I know, like for first time again,
and that's. Well, absolutely.
Anything for the gram.
A baptism into the fresh start. And, I mean, and years from now, we're all going to kind of look back and be like, wow, that was kind of a horseshit year. I mean, that was pretty terrible. But you know what? We made it through. And 6 months later, we were still envious and narcissistic and negative here and there and everywhere, but we were still invigorated, we were still inspired, we were still creative, we were still passionate, and we were still here. And so, absolutely. So I think looking in the long play of things, I think we'll handle it well. I think. You can't say it's a net positive. It's a pandemic. A ton of people have been uprooted, and there's all sorts of negative things to look at it. And there's, negativity, in our midst every day. But I will say that, once we all kind of collectively take a deep breath, which we're all rooting for, I'm sure, I think there'll be some good things that come out of it. And that's what we're all waiting for. So, we've been impatiently patient over the last year and however much longer it takes. I picture, Governor Walz, I'm not a psychic. I'm more of a soothsayer. State Fair. He's going to be on Snelling in St. Paul/Falcon Heights. And he's going to open those doors and we're just going to rush in there. and it's going to be the most beautiful thing, full of mini donut beers and fried pickles.
The smells, the smells.
Body odor for days, and nobody's going to complain about it. It's going to be the most beautiful thing any of us have ever experienced. And I'm going to do, courtesy of KFAN, 8 radio shows there. And I'm not going to hate every single minute of it like I have in years past. And it's going to be the absolute best. Can't wait for it.
I'm going to hug so many cows.
Dude, you guys forgot about that. All you can drink.
Yeah, John's, you're going to hug the cows. John's going to be in the barn milking teats for 4 days.
Suckling from the teats.
It's going to be weird, but nobody's going to
right
ask
from the faucet. No, it's going to. You guys, are you guys always?
How can you not be?
Yes.
I feel like it's just going to be a straight up McPoyle wedding where we're just going to just get out there and it's going to be shirts off,
milk flying everywhere,
and just sweat everywhere. Yeah, milk everywhere. It's gonna be awesome.
So Nordo, United tickets, Twins tickets, going to be a little harder to come by this summer. I think it's still a 10,000 seat cap, right?
Have you guys heard it all exactly? How many people will be allowed at Allianz? I haven't heard.
My emails have been telling me 10,000 is the limit.
Yeah, but no, yeah. So 10,000. You mean 10,000 at Allianz? Because that's more than 25% of the seats.
That's a good point.
So I don't know how that works.
How many? I got to go back to my. No, that's a good point. I got to go back to my emails from the club to see what they told us. But I don't know. Is that the limit? 25% of the seats.
25% because Target Field is allowed 10,000. They technically can seat. I mean, if you put some card tables and shit up, I mean, they can put 41 in there. So I don't know for sure.
Okay.
I'm just curious. Allianz Field is beautiful, and the toughest thing, and you guys can appreciate this. You take what are they going to do with season ticket holders? Because they have many, and the most vital and standard, the most hardcore of ardent supporters are going to be the 3,000 to 5,000 that they have in the standing supporters section over there on the East End. And how are you going to decide which of those can and can't go? Like that's a difficult pain in the ass decision if you're Minnesota United. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was a total cluster. They released like a 4-game package for people, for season ticket holders to be able to buy. And it sounds like that crashed immediately. And now the single game presale is open. So they've released 4 tickets potentially for each, for the first 4 games. And, you can buy those tickets if you're a season ticket holder while they last, right? So it's almost like one of what the last couple of years was one of the hottest sports tickets in town is now even the demand is even higher because it's season ticket holders scrambling to even get in.
Hey, can I ask you guys a question?
Mm-hmm.
It's completely up.
Yeah.
The only person on the roster that requires an XL shirt is Troy Lewaggy. What's Troy eating? What's up with Troy?
Yeah. It's not what he's eating; it's his length. The Stimulus can't produce a jersey in China that fits a man.
What are we doing with Troy?
Double XL category.
6'6", or is he just, or is he wide?
Yes. No, he's huge.
He's just tall. He's
all right. Well, we
he's got
need
length.
Troy in the box.
We'll call it that.
Okay, to clear set plays. Can we get him in there?
He'll have to duck, but he'll get in.
Offended by the nickname Big
absolutely.
Bird? I don't want to put that on him.
Yeah.
We're spitballing here. He's the only guy on the team that requires an XL. I received a roster that's it's official, but it's unofficial, and somehow the jersey sizes were to the left of them. Some sort of spreadsheet that someone that shall remain nameless may
Unedited.
have sent to me. And I'm just concerned, and I don't know if we need a nutritionist in the mix. Does Minneapolis City have a nutritionist?
No, we don't have an official one,
All right,
but I'm sure Bloomquist would hook us up.
So I'm in on Troy. I'm rooting for Troy, but let's watch his size a little bit, okay?
So for sports fans, Nordo, for sports fans that are going to be looking for something to do this summer, as a guy like you who've experienced pretty much every corner of Minnesota sports, what's the case for a first-time fan to hit some city games up this summer?
What's the case? I mean, if you are a soccer fan and you are hungry for the sport, I mean, you have the Loons, and then there's Minneapolis City, in my opinion. So, the advantage, I don't want to say that Minneapolis City has some sort of advantage or can profit in a pandemic, but my point is that it's high-level soccer. You're going to see guys, there are examples of those that are playing in MLS right now that at one point played for Minneapolis City. So that there's high-level talent and high-level competition. And then if you're looking in a situation where this summer you're going to be boxed out of tickets to a Loons game, and so you can't enjoy $9 beer night, and I'm sorry for you for that. But your ability to come to Edor Nelson and experience a purely organic evolution of club soccer, which is more typical in other parts of the world that is severely lacking in the United States. And you have the ability to go to this game, still enjoy, ingest the content that you're looking for, high-level soccer, and there's space for you. I would suggest that. I mean, the difficult thing in this country, as we all know, MLS, as much as I love it, because it is the highest league, MLS is a massive Ponzi scheme, in my personal opinion, from the standpoint that, they continue to, they're expanding on the precipice of disaster, and they're avoiding disaster by expansion fees. And so they'll continue to do that, and then they'll continue to work out for them in the short term. I just, at some point, it worries me in terms of how they're able to sustain that. But at the grassroots level, I mean, soccer in itself, as a sport and as just as an entity in itself, soccer is a community-based one, and it's so cool to see from my vantage point, guys that I hear about from St. Thomas and other colleges, guys out of state, whether it works out or not, from Indiana, other colleges, other portions of, Western Michigan. Like, these guys will come here to play here because it's an awesome opportunity and it's a spotlight. So you're seeing at an amateur level, it's unbelievable, a non-MLS level, guys that have the ability to feed themselves into professional opportunities, despite working and thriving within an amateur environment. And so with Minneapolis City, I'm not being paid by you guys, so I'll just say it. I think you guys do a fantastic job of cultivating that talent and creating an environment where these people can do what they do best, to grow and put themselves on a pedestal to potentially do better, learn more about themselves from a potential standpoint and all of that. And it's a good product on the field. And it is an opportunity, especially given the roster and such, to be a dominant product on the field within the MPSL. So, and such good people. I mean, the connectivity of all of that.
Well, yeah. I mean, so especially us.
And it's Nate's playlist.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it's
1A, 1B.
Your playlist.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. I got to get back on that horse.
Oh, by the way,
I'm ready.
I think. Have you heard of Q Lab before?
I thought you maybe.
Well, we were talking about that before. We were trying to find some sort of digital button bar. You remember that conversation?
Oh, yeah, the sound. Oh, yeah.
Q Lab, I
Q
think
Lab
is. Just take a peek at it. That's an on-air.
All right, I'll check it out.
That's an on-podcast production video. Check out Q Lab. See what you think.
All right. Thanks, Nordo.
Oh, jeez.
Awesome. So time for some harder hitting questions. Clearly, I am not close to ever being a legitimate sports commentator. I'm really just some asshole who is able to force my way into the booth. But you have actual experience in the category. We've not discussed we've not discussed this yet, but what do I need to work on, stop doing? What are my highlights?
I wish.
What should I continue doing?
No, I understand. I wish I had a better answer.
As a true partner.
I'm never going to be Arlo White, and you're never going to be. I don't know. Are you Alexi Lawless? Are you an Alexi Lawless guy? I like Alexi. Yeah.
I mean, I don't hate him. I don't.
Who's your favorite
per se? But
who's your favorite
I
analyst?
do appreciate his knowledge, even though others don't. I like John Strong.
But he's a play-by-play guy.
The guy who usually is. He started out being Seattle's guy. Okay. I'm a Stu Holden guy. I like what Stu's done, and the reason why I say that is because I like how he's leveled up in his craft since he's first started. He's really put the work in to translate his knowledge of the game into his new job, where a lot of the ex-players in our country who are thrown in front of a microphone tend to, pontificate about the old days or maybe their specific style or background, and they don't truly give the insight from the game perspective. He really has. Look at Stu, like circa 2015 to what he's doing now for pretty much every major sporting event from a soccer perspective.
If you're asking me what you should do, I'm just going to be a jackass and say, put the work in.
Go be Stu.
Great, man. I mean, what am I supposed to say? I mean, the advantage, it's the toughest thing about any play-by-play bit, and that's why, I'll never be, at the top of the totem pole. It's time, it's voice, it's commitment, it's all those things. And, for me, like, just really loving you guys and having this opportunity, it's a super cool thing, and I enjoy doing it and all of that. But from an analyst standpoint, the credibility of an analyst is always going to be, Stu, who played at a significantly high level. And you just think about, all of those things that go into it from the front door, right? So it's like, Stu can, he can unzip and just flop it on the table and like, this is what I got. And Alexi Lawless can, do all of that. And that's what those guys can do. So, ultimately, as an analyst, the ability to tell the story and, make people understand why things are happening the way they are is an A topic. So, how you do that, you can't speak to playing in Costa Rica in a CONCACAF or, World Cup qualifying match. You can't do that. You're never going to be able to do that. And that's all good. I love you. Hope your back's okay. How does the guy break his back? That's so weird. Anyway.
My back's doing good. But I will definitely say though that for those of you who watch soccer on TV and you listen to the play-by-play or the color commentator, it is so difficult. Like, I'm not even going to pretend that it's easy. And especially when those one-off chances where you're not there and I have to slide over a chair, it's so difficult for me that I'd rather I get lost watching the game and I forget that I have to be describing the action, which is why I feel like we work really well together even if it was us, forcing ourselves in the booth together initially. But I think we have a good 1-2 punch, especially when you listen to every other guy or gal at our level trying to commentate. There's no energy, there's no cohesion.
Well, no, and
it's pretty awful. So I think we caught a heater. I think
voice,
we do a good job.
There's some God-given aspects to it that I think differentiate, talent level and all those things. Being enthusiastic and being excited about it, having energy, wanting to be there. If you can at least, at a base level, tell people by your voice that you actually want to be in that booth. You want to be exchanging the flask of whiskey while calling a soccer match at Edor Nelson. I mean, we want to be. We're Brockmire time in some way, in some regard. So
that's right.
Have fun. That's the oldest school book as it pertains to radio. Is if you're having fun, the listeners will have fun. So there it is. It's that easy. So
when you smile, people can hear it.
You're good at what you do, Johnny, but
right.
Just played in the World Cup. I mean, that really
that'd go a long ways.
From a credibility standpoint, that would have helped.
I mean, my talent level, my talent level plateaued well below the World Cup. On this topic, what's your favorite game that we've called together?
What is the? That's a good question. Okay, so
I can help fill the gap in if you have a location or a team we played against.
And I don't think you were even calling the game with me at the time, but I love the open game up at NSC. Gosh, it wasn't Martin. It was the other Brown. Whitney with 2 goals against Oakland. That was sweet.
Whitney. That was the game that no one ever heard you, because if you didn't tune in, YouTube ripped your audio down because we had music playing. Nate's playlist was playing a half.
Coolio and Daft Punk. And
yeah, dude.
No, I got you.
Pumping that crowd up.
Okay, so that's depressing. Okay, so I'm trying to remember. There was an Isaac Frent. It was at Edor. Well, now you're just kicking me in the ass. There was a super close match, and I can't say which one it was.
Is that where he went upper left from distance?
Yeah, from about 25 yards, and it was just absolutely fucking beautiful.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that was against Dakota Fusion, and that was right after they came off of. That was the year that they caught lightning and ended
but
up
I don't
going
feel
into
that
the regional,
wasn't a close one. I felt like
regional
it
final
ended up
against
being
Detroit City.
lopsided. Like it was close, and then City ran away with it.
Yeah, absolutely. It was one of those ones where the anticipation was really high, razor's edge for the beginning of the game, and then Goose hit that shot, and I believe we probably
it was to our right,
because it was like right in front of us, and you could just see it trail into the corner. I remember that. I would say that my favorite was our playoff game against Med City in 2019, where we had basically put up the white flag against them to finish out the regular season because we'd already won the title.
How about that?
And then we were at Benilde for the playoff game, where the coach from Med City had been ejected in the week prior, so he couldn't coach. And he was sitting right in front of our open window, and we gave every opportunity we. Yeah, We gave every opportunity for that guy to,
I didn't know that.
Hear us totally.
How about
shit
that,
on
by
their
the
team.
way? I mean, just
that
the
one was my
grind
favorite.
of being
Yep, that was a good one.
non-MLS. You get the bit with Augsburg. You got to make sure the internet's working. At one point, we were up in Osseo, and then Benil for that game. I mean, it's ridiculous, but it's kind of like part of the fuel and the passion of the sport, and that's kind of what makes it fun. It's kind of cool.
I just remember that the athletic director kind of just opened up the gate and was like, "Here you guys go," and it was like, of course, us being ever careful with anything we do to make sure we don't get fined or in trouble. We're like, so what are the requirements? And it's like, I open up the press box, guys. Just go ahead, go on up there. And I think you and I spent halftime on the roof of the press box.
Oh, hell yeah, we did.
For a little bit, looking at the sun.
That's romantic.
I mean, we embraced. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, screw it. Whatever.
Yeah. So outside of getting back to normal, we talked about it a little bit here. What are you excited for the Crows in 2021 for the season?
That's the A topic for me. I mean, I think about it. What a stunt in development for a year for a lot of these guys, right? I mean, and there's some old timers. One of my favorites on the team. Matt Elder. Like I'm rooting for Matt Elder. I want to see him in net every single game, and I'm excited for him. But he is also, I mean, he's got to be 29 or 30 by now. Like, yeah. And so, when you look at him in terms of development, his arc is different than, the 22-year-old. You think about like Brandon Bai, right? I mean, Brandon Bai got an opportunity to flourish with you after Western Michigan, I believe. And now he's playing in the MLS. Like, that's super cool. So you think about, the gap or not the gap. You guys are the bridge in terms of, offering talent potentially to the next level. And I think about the loss of that. And just kind of even talking, when Nate was asking about, what's cool, why would somebody go and look at the Crows in 2021 and all of that? Like, I mean, it's at a basic level, even before we went on, it's real life happening in front of our eyes. So, I love anything that brings me closer to normalcy. I love the idea of seeing these guys compete. I just think that, the Crows from a roster standpoint are, I don't want to say they're not slumming it per se, but I expect big things from Minneapolis City. So I expect them to win these games against the Fusion. I expect them to beat Duluth. I expect them to run it up on Med City. I expect these things to happen. And so then I'm thinking about, meeting up with Detroit and meeting up with, some of these other teams, Miami, at the larger scale of MPSL, and I just expect success, and I'm looking forward to seeing that happen. So, no, hey, you can't meet those goals if you don't set them. So
to the moon, Eric.
I'm just pumped. I'm pumped for this group, and getting the opportunity even in Eden Prairie. When I came by there and we're seeing, all those, what are it, 75 people there that night, John, right? Yeah. So we're at that indoor spot at training, and not all these guys are going to make the final roster.
Yeah,
it
felt like it at training.
You got futures, you get all that stuff. And, of course, I'm there supporting them while drinking beer on the sidelines. I mean, that's just, obvious. But just like looking forward to the season, looking forward to them playing the games that count. And I'm looking forward to seeing even the supporters. I mean, it's just impressive, again, for a non-professional entity to have, the base that it does, and the ability to drum up supporters and drum up eyeballs on the product. I think that's a really cool thing. So I'm just excited to be up in the booth with you guys and enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we are now to game time. All of the questions that people want to hear are over. Now it's time for the jackassery. So we played many games on the show, and I think you've dabbled in a few of them. We had word association. We just put ask John anything to bed, which I feel like you're one of those guests that we could have had on during that maybe would have stumped me, even though I went undefeated and I was never stumped. But we have a new game this year called Crow Facts. So here's how the game works. We're going to ask you 3 questions that are Crow related. They can maybe be about the club, about a player, maybe a specific match, or just about the bird, the crow. If you have the actual answer, please give it. If you do not, say anything and pretend it's the actual answer. An example question, which Kevin Hook got wrong, which was a great start. Like an example question would be, who is the shortest member of Crows to ever
I'm
play
going to guess
the answer would be
Aaron Olson.
Any guesses?
Oh, Ben Wexler. How about that?
It would be Ben Wexler.
So short.
You fall into
Sex Wax.
Yeah. So short. Yep. So
No, I don't
So
even
does the game make sense?
Pause the podcast. I'm
you're
going to
ready
get
to
all
start?
the
You need a
answers
little break?
wrong and make myself look stupid, but that's fine.
I don't know. You might be able to get some of these. So question number 1. We actually asked this question on last week's show, but I'm taking a calculated guess here that you still have that episode queued up in your phone on your preferred podcast provider. But the crow family is a vast family of birds to the tune of 100 different species of birds within the crow family. Can you name 4
species of
birds
crows?
In the crow family? And I'll give you a freebie.
That's ridiculous.
One of them is crow.
Like what? Like, so you know me, okay,
Yeah.
John. You know me that I'm not going to be. How do I explain it? I'm not exactly the biggest ornithologist that has ever walked the earth. Okay, so I assume if we're talking about species of crow, like bluebird does not count, right?
But that's like the level of
if that's
answer.
a guess,
Okay, so
one of the answers
crow
is
is
correct.
one of the answers.
But
I'm going to say
that's like what we're. One of the answers is crow.
so I'm thinking like the buzzard or like a raven. How about that? Like a raven is. Oh yeah!
Nice. All right.
Screw all you people that think I was
A raven
just
is correct.
Geese. Here we go. Okay. You know what
Feeding the geese.
Can I just start guessing?
You have
like,
you have 116 more you can guess from, but we're only like for 2.
Can I just guess? I mean, I don't know. I just feel like okay, so if there are 100 and some different kinds of crow or in the family, it's basically now we're just nitpicking types of crow. So, okay, so raven's 1. Sweet. Okay, perfect. Got that in my back pocket. What about, how about like the western crow? Like there's got to be you know what I'm saying? Like if there's 100 kinds of crow, now we're talking about like locations. There's got to be. No, that's not fair.
I would say that is incorrect because all of those fall under the crow category.
Okay, crow. What about?
No one said this was fair. if you get either of these two, like,
so the Blackbird is not one of them.
Bar tab on me. There's no way you're
And
going to
the
get these
Buzzard
two.
is
But I
not
could be
one of
surprised.
them.
That is not one of them. We'll give you one more guess.
Yeah. Okay.
And the Buzzard is not one of them. What we were looking for is the Rook.
Yeah.
And the Jackdaw.
Jackdaw.
Jack
Never gonna get it.
couldn't answer that question. Okay. I mean, if I go to the Como Zoo and I find the unhappy, flustered 19-year-old underpaid sap that's stuck in the freaking bird cages, he couldn't answer that question. So I'm going to be happy that I nailed the Raven, and I feel like that's a victory for me.
Yeah. Agreed.
I think it is too, and like we told Joe
So
from the
Jack
Cup last week, who had this
or
question.
duh?
Now you know that a jackdaw is a crow.
D-A-W.
It's a win for everybody.
Okay. All right.
Daw,
Really,
D-A-W.
hold on. No, I'm not done writing this down.
Yeah.
Okay, because it's a learning
All
experience
right.
for
All right.
everybody.
So question number 2.
All right, perfect. Question number 2. Yeah, I did.
Okay, so I know this for a fact. You used to live in Loring Park, so we don't have to validate that. Loring Park is the location of the famous Minneapolis mega murder of crows, where we got our name from. What season of the year are the crows that make up the mega murder active?
I did not. I lived a very.
Did you never see it when you lived there?
Liquefied existence. I mean, no. I was a jackdaw. When my gal and I lived in Loring Park, it was 215
total
Oak
jackdaw.
Street, apartment 1105. It was. Yeah, I don't think the plaque
is still there.
No, I'm pretty sure I've left, no less than $50 and change down in the community laundry room. No, but it was sweet. Walking downtown and all of that. There were people. I actually saw people playing cricket in Loring Park. That was sweet. And back when Loring Kitchen was open, you could do $3 crab cakes and $3 beers. And for $25, you left there full and you left there, let's just say 0.2. No, it was a good time. So I'm going to guess the
Nice.
fall, and it's probably the wrong answer. Although, no, hang on. Winter. I'm just feeling winter as being a good time to be murdered out with crows. I'm feeling winter, and maybe that's wrong. It's probably wrong, but I'm going to say winter. I'm just thinking winter is murdered out with crows. Yes. Yes.
And is
Ding,
that your
ding,
final
ding.
answer?
Way to go.
That would be correct. So, see, I told you, all the questions aren't that hard. I mean, obviously, Rook and Jackdaw are two hard ones, but you got that one right. So let's get into the last question here. This one, I think you'll have a good shot at. You've been around for a while with the club, since you were here with us in the beginning, with that Open Cup right after our first full season in 2016. Can you name the members of the 2021 roster who were on the original
it's one of my
2016
favorites,
roster?
Matt Elder.
And I'll give you a hint. There's 7 of them.
Okay. Oh, jeez.
Yep, that's correct.
How about Ian Smith? All right. God bless you, Steve. I'm going to
correct.
guess.
Steve?
Oh, wow. What a pain in the ass. What about Abdallah Ba? Oh, yeah, it is. I think it's not.
Abdallah Ba is correct.
I'm going to guess Aaron Olson.
Yeah, you got 4 left.
Wow.
Okay. Let me see here.
You got that. You got that correct. You got 2 more.
Okay. Blah, 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 blah.
5 out of 7. That'll get you in the Hall of Fame.
God,
right
this
there.
is so tough. It's not Ruiz Plaza. It's not Max Stigwart. It's not Matt Murakami. It's not Justin Oliver. So I'm just looking at your roster right now. That's what I'm doing. And I'm going to say, what about Charlie Adams? One of my favorites. Charlie. Damn it! Oh, come on.
Chuck is an incorrect answer. He joined us on that Open Cup team, so it doesn't count, but he's close. I will say, though, that you were incorrect. Max Stigwart and Ruiz Plaza
much respect to those guys. Clearly,
so you got those 2 wrong. But
okay,
you have 1 more.
I'm going to say,
and I feel like you should get this one.
It's not Lionel Vang. Yeah, Eli Goldman. What a name. Mitch Wolf. I already said Ian Smith. Sam Thornton. He's just sitting there. He just makes sense. That's what it should be. It's not Jonah Garcia. It's not Sam Thornton. Is it
I'll help you out. It's
Justin
not
Oliver?
Sam Thornton. It's not Sam Thornton.
Kid was on the team.
That would be incorrect. The last person we were looking for, and you're going to shoot
I know he
yourself,
is, but I thought that was more recent times. Wow. What a disrespect.
Yeah.
How disrespectful am I to Will Kidd? That's awful.
Pure disrespect. Pure disrespect.
Listen to this. I love Will's game.
Yeah, just pure disrespect. I mean,
that's
you
decent.
Got 5 out of 7, and like I said earlier, that'll get you in the Hall of Fame if you're a baseball player.
I feel bad about
that. That's
decent.
But I think you did well. You did really well.
Right now.
I love you anyway.
Might be a total jackdaw.
Like
I think
you
did well.
Just like a pain in the ass, just like an inconvenience.
Oh, man. Well, Nordo, thanks so much for jumping on with us and shooting the shit tonight. Mere weeks, man, until we're together in the booth. It's going to be great. If you're looking for more Nordo, you can occasionally catch him, chiming in to the goings on in the booth and the 9 to noon show on the radio station that nobody listens to, KFAN.
I but chip in Monday through Friday, 9 to noon on KFAN. Otherwise, it's May 15th. So, I mean, you got a whole month to warm up. So that's good.
Yeah. Very, very excited, man. Thanks so much. I hope you have a great night, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, it was fun, guys. Have a great night, all right?
That is all for this week's show, folks, and thank you to our new show sponsor, footballstadiumprints.com. Is your t-shirt game looking a little pitted out? Are the walls in your soccer cave looking sparse? My friend, footballstadiumprints.com have the solutions you need to add that unique spin to your soccer wardrobe and your living arrangement. Footballstadiumprints.com may be an English bloke making some, that's what they say, bloke, right? Making some great art.
Yeah, I think so.
Know that all U.S. orders ship right here from the U.S. of A., so there's no additional international shipping charges. That's very cool.
Maybe Chap. Chap, Nate. Maybe that's another one.
Chap, yeah. As long as we don't drop the hard C, I think it's acceptable in Old English. But what's better than that? City fans can head on over to footballstadiumprints.com, check out the new Edor Nelson shirt and print designs, and use that code CROWS10 to save 10% off your order. That is CROWS10, and you can rock the home of the Crows or any other lesser team, I suppose, wherever you go or wherever you want to lay your head. Thanks again to our friends at footballstadiumprints.com. If giving back to the community means a lot to you, maybe it is time that you give to the club that gives back. Minneapolis City is a 501c3. That's a tax thing that provides a safe, reliable, and fun environment for young people to play the beautiful game. We've got an upcoming summer camp that includes that, as well as we also offer the Futures Program Scholarship Fund. So there's so many ways, so many reasons to give. Consider a tax-deductible donation to a true city-focused organization. That kind of rhymed. That's great. The season is around the corner, John. I am sure there are questions abound out there people are going to have about the team that we can investigate. Maybe we can answer them. Send us mail. It's easy. Hit us up on Twitter at The People's Pitch or email us at mcscpodcast@gmail.com. All questions, comments, and concerns are welcome. And finally, as always, hit that club up at MPLS City SC on the Twitter. Thank you for joining us this week. That does it for us. I am Nate. Thank you so much to Eric Nordquist. And of course, that has been John. Games are coming, people. Very, very close. So from here, the only way is to the moon. Head up to mplscitysc.com, become a member, and get those tickets so you don't miss the trip.